UFC Fight Night, Della Maddalena versus Prates. Quick picks, quick predictions. We are back, boys. We are back, and we are back with a solid fight night. A 9 out of 10 fight night. Not some Apex slop, not some shitty Canadian card like they keep forking us out to us. We've got a good card. We've got a good card in Perth, Australia, with 2 top 5 welterweights in the main event, a bunch of ranked fighters on the main card. This is a solid fight night. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you guys all my quick predictions. We're going to start with the early prelim, go to the main event. Before we go ahead and get into it, let me know in the comments down below who you guys are picking in the main event, and let's go ahead and get it started with the prelim opener of Dom Marfan taking on Cody Steele. I honestly think this fight is one of the harder fights to predict on this card. This card's not an easy card to predict, genuinely. You know, I can make a reason to pick every Aussie on this card. I won't, but I could see every Australian winning on this card. In this fight, though, this is a striker versus grappler. Dom Marfan is more of a striker. He does have good grappling, but he's got really good kicks on the outside, nice straight punches. We saw that in all of his tough fights, and he's on a good win streak right now. His only 2 losses are to the man in the co-main event in Quill and Sal killed. So that's pretty good. You know, that's aged very good. He got subbed by him twice, though. You know, so he does have a bit of a hole on the ground. If Cody Steele can get him to the mat, that's where he'll find success. I just don't know if I can trust Cody Steele to blast a double leg like he showed like he can do in his early MMA fights, or if he's just going to stand and bang like he did against Rong Zhu. And if he does that, I think he's going to get picked apart by Dom Marfan. So this is where it's like a really tricky predict. I think just this is one of the hardest fights to predict on the card. I also think this could definitely be fight of the night. This should be a banger. Cody Steele in his debut was banging it out with Rong Zhu. Such a good fight in Australia as well. But I'm going to go Dom Marfan. I'm going to go Dom Marfan. I want to pick Cody Steele, but I just feel like he's low IQ. I got to be honest. And I think Dom Marfan is high IQ. He's calculated. He's sharp. He doesn't overextend. He's very clean with it. You know, he did fight lower level competition, but Rong Zhu's a road to UFC guy as well, and Cody Steele lost to him. So I'm not trying to do MMA math, but I'm going to go Dom Marfan. I'm going to go Dom Marfan by decision, picks apart Cody Steele on the back foot. Leg kicks are going to be massive. Dom Marfan's going to have to chop the legs, chop the body with the kicks, and then use that to open up the hands. So give me Dom Marfan by decision. We move on. Jonathan Mikhailov taking on Themba Gorimbo, man. Jonathan Mikhailov is one of my favorite welterweight prospects right now. Really, really high level. Not the best striking. A little bit of a goofy striker. A little bit of a DDP level striking from Jonathan Mikhailov. But his grappling is very solid. He's huge for the division. Very physical. Very powerful. And that's just what it's been with most of his wins. You know, he just outpowers, out-physicalities his opponents. And I think that's the same case here with Themba Gorimbo. Gorimbo's a little bit taller, but I don't think he's as strong. I don't think he's as powerful. I think he's going to be able to get a takedown or two. But I just worry that Themba Gorimbo's going to put himself in a choke, just like he did against Luque, you know, and he's just going to outposition himself to the point where Jonathan Mikhailov's going to be able to wrap up a rear naked choke, wrap up a triangle or something, and he's just going to get a bloody submission for the Aussie casuals, all right? So I'm going to go Jonathan Mikhailov. I think Mikhailov's going to get it done by submission. I could see Themba Gorimbo, you know, pulling this one off by decision. You know, classic Themba Gorimbo's decision. Just out-wrestles Jonathan Mikhailov. If he can get Jonathan Mikhailov tired enough after a round or two of grappling, I think he'll be able to win this fight, but I just don't see that being the case without Mikhailov catching him in a sub. You know, he's got a really good triangle off of his back. Nice rear naked choke. He just choked out Oban Elliott unconscious, and I think that's a better opponent than Themba Gorimbo. So I'm going to go Jonathan Mikhailov by submission, round 1, round 2, and I could see a leg triangle or maybe an arm triangle. I'm going to go Jonathan Mikhailov by sub. We move on. Ben Johnson taking on Wes Schultz. Party Wes Schultz, man. I'm going to go Ben Johnston. I'm not going to overthink this one. Wes Schultz is not UFC level. Look at the dude. His nickname is Party Time. Get the freak out of here, buddy. All right? It's not your time. You're not meant to be in the UFC. Do I think Ben Johnston is UFC level? Questionable, but he is a world-class Muay Thai striker. Okay, really good Muay Thai. He's got a nice ground game as well. He's not going to get subbed by Wes Schultz with ease. Wes Schultz is not going to pull off a Suloyev stretch on him. Jeez, man, I can't speak. So I'm going to go Ben Johnson. And I think Ben Johnson is just going to cancel out the wrestling, stuff the takedowns early. Wes Schultz is going to be flopping around, flopping around, and Ben Johnson is going to piece him up on the feet and get a TKO. So give me Ben Johnson, round 1 TKO, gets Wes Schultz out of there. Schultz just got absolutely destroyed by Pinas. Pinas absolutely went pillar to post on West Shoulder. Okay, I gotta stop. I gotta stop. Give me Ben Johnson by knockout. We move on. Colby Thickness, bro. There's so many good names on this card. Colby Thickness taking on Vince Morales. Colby Thickness, notorious training partner of Alexander Volkanovski, the great Colby Thickness. You know, one of the best training partners of all time. He's fighting Vince Morales. Vince Morales is just, bro, I don't even know what to say about it. Look at the dude changes his hair color every time. Now he's got the purple shirts, the purple hair, bro. It's like he changes his hair color like he thinks is going to make him win his next fight. What are we doing, buddy? What are we doing? He's switching up his hair color like he's switching up his girls, man. Give me Colby Thickness. Just give me Colby Thickness, okay? Vince Morales, I think he could pull this off. Don't get me wrong. Like, this is low-key a 50-50 fight because I don't think Colby Thickness really is anything, but I'm going to go Colby Thickness. I think he's going to win this fight by decision. I think he's just going to absolutely control Vince Morales for 15 minutes. It's going to be an absolute banger, boys. At 4 a.m., by the way. We're all waking up at 4 a.m. for this, right? Right, guys? Yeah, I'm going to go Colby Thickness. I think Vince Morales is just, I mean, the dude's like on, what, 5 or 6 fight winning or losing streak? Winning streak, yeah, what am I saying? Losing streak. I'm going to go Colby Thickness by decision. Just, I'm not going to overthink this. Also, biased judges. Colby's going to get it done by decision. We move on. Freaking, bro, all the legends are on this card. Jacob Malkoun taking on the GOAT, GM3, brother. GM3 round 3 submission. Round 3 submission for GM3. I'm just fucking kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm going to go Jacob Malkoun by destruction. He should finish GM3. If he doesn't finish Mearshart, there's a problem. Because Mearshart is 50 years old. You know, he's 37-21 in his record. He's on like a fucking 3 or 4 fight losing streak. All of them by finish. Like round 1, all of them by finish. The dude's chinny. He just missed weight by 5 pounds. He weighed in at 190. He's tubby. He's slow. I mean, if there's a sign to hang it up, the sign was to when he missed weight. I think GM3 should be hanging it up after this fight. If he doesn't, he's making a very big mistake. Brain damage ensuing. CTE melting. What are we doing, GM3? Let's hang it up, brother. But I'm going to go Jacob Malkoun by round 2 knockout. No, round 1 knockout. I'm not overthinking it. Round 1 knockout. GM3, the problem is every time GM3 gets hit, it just looks like he doesn't want it. He gets hit and he freezes up, he drops down, bro, like a body bag. So, you know, GM3 used to be able to, like, wear the damage and then make it to round 3, and that's how he would fluke people. The problem is he just can't make it to round 3 anymore. So, I'm going to go Jacob Malkoun, round 1 knockout, probably just a TKO. GM3 drops to the mat, and that's it. And ref stops it early because Jacob Malkoun's Aussie, and the fans are going to go crazy. So, give me Jacob Malkoun by round 1 knockout. We move on. Fucking A, man. Why is this higher than, like, some of these other fights? I don't get it, bro. Junior Taffa taking on Kevin Christian. 6'7" Kevin Christian and Junior Taffa, the absolute blob who just will not get kicked out of the UFC because he's Australian. Because he's a Taffa, brother. He's a Taffa, brother. I think the dude's like 2-7 in the or 2-6. It's something disgusting. It's a disgusting. He's 6-5 in his MMA career. He shouldn't be here, but luckily for him, he's fighting an absolute bum in Kevin Christian, who is 6'7", 0 striking, abysmal takedowns, and disgusting MMA skills overall. I'm sorry, but I don't think Kevin Christian is a good MMA fighter. I don't know how he has 9 wins. He's 6'7". He can't do anything. He's at light heavyweight. The dude's just a string bean. If Junior Taffa doesn't win this fight, he should just change his name and move away. He should change his name, change his haircut, change his fucking passport, his ID, everything, and move away because he shouldn't lose this fight. All right, I know it sounds crazy because Junior Taffa's fucking ass, but he's been losing to good competition. Billy Elikana, I rate Billy Elikana. Tuko Tokos, I don't rate Tuko Tokos, but every single fight that he's in where he gets subbed in the second round, he's winning the first round. He's almost knocking them out every time. Billy Elikana almost chinned him. Tuko Tokos almost chinned him. Kevin Christian is going to get chinned. The difference is Kevin Christian just doesn't eat shots like that. He's got no good defense. He's literally standing straight up in a line. If Junior Taffa doesn't connect with the big overhand right, I don't know what he's doing. And he should just retire and just call it quits, change his name, change his address, just leave. You know what I mean? So I'm going to go Junior Taffa. All that being said, I'm going to go Junior Taffa by round 1 knockout. Okay? Dude, no way you're losing to 6'7" Kevin Christian. All right? Give me Junior Taffa by knockout. We move on. Cam Rowston, taking on Robert Brychek, the giraffe, Cam Rouston, taking on Robert Brychek. This is where elite ball knowledge comes in, okay? Elite ball knowledge. Cam Rouston on a devious little win streak right now. Little nasty win streak, you know, kind of piecing people up, piecing up the Cody Brundages and the who else? Who was the guy he beat before? And the Andre Petrowskis of the division. He's piecing them up, you know what I mean? He's doing some crafty work, making himself look real good. So he's a favorite coming in here. But Robert Brychek's got nasty inside boxing, big power in the hands, and we just saw Cam Rouston get absolutely pieced up by Cody Brundage on the back foot. Brundage was on the back foot, winging shots from his hips, connecting clean on Cam Rouston. Now, Cam Rouston ate them. Don't get me wrong, he ate them, and he ended up finishing Cody Brundage. But Robert Brychek, I could argue, has bigger power than Brundage, cleaner striking than Brundage, and is just a more physical specimen than Brundage, and a guy who actually wants to win, unlike Cody Brundage, who is stepping in on like 2 days' notice every freaking fight. So I'm going to go with Robert Brychek. You know, this is where I'm going to fade the Aussie a little bit. You know, I think the reason that Cam Rouston's the favorite is really just the momentum. They're putting him on every Australian card. He's getting some good layups. Andre Petrowski, it's a decent win. Andre Petrowski, Cody Brundage, but both these guys are quitters. They're both quitters. You know, what happens when Cam Rouston fights a guy who actually is trying to take his head off? And I think Robert Brychek's going to try to do that. And I think he could find a knockout here. So I'm going to go Robert Brychek by knockout. And I think he's going to get a round 2 knockout over Cam Rouston. Round 1's going to be a little bit back and forth, trying to find each other's range. And I think the second Robert Brychek's able to get inside that striking range and get in the pocket, he's going to bomb away. And Cam Rouston's there to be hit. Very tall, very lengthy, flat-footed. I think Robert Brychek's going to put him down and put him out. I think this is going to be one of the bigger upsets on the card. Give me Robert Brychek by knockout in the second round. We move on to the main card opener. Bro, dude, there's so many people on this card that it's just like, bro, Tai Tuivasa versus Louis Sutherland. Louis bloody Sutherland. Like, this is, dude, these fights on this card are funny as hell. I'm not going to lie. I want to wake up at 4 a.m. to watch these fights. Tai Tuivasa, Tony Ferguson downfall, 6-fight losing streak. 6-fight losing streak right now, but this is the one. This is the one. It's happening, all right? This is the one where he absolutely shuts down bloody Louis Sutherland and gets a bloody TKO in Australia. I'm going to go Tai Tuivasa. I'm going to go Tai Tuivasa. Louis Sutherland could win this fight, though. Genuinely. They both look like tubs of ice cream. I fucking get it, all right? They both look like tubs of ice cream. Do not, and I mean do not, bet on this fight. Do not bet on Tai Tuivasa. Do not bet on Louis Sutherland. Just don't, okay? Just, there's no point. Look at these fat tubs of ice cream. No offense, guys. No offense. You know what I mean? You guys are heavy. Bro, I wish you guys could see this. You guys are heavy good vehicles, okay? No offense, but they're heavy tubs of ice cream, okay? Walking around in the octagon, whoever flops to the mat is just gonna, you know what I mean? It's just gonna erupt the arena. I'm gonna go Tai Tuivasa though. Even though he's washed as hell, he has been only fighting ranked guys. You know, let's just call it what it is. Pavlovich, Gon, Volkov, Tybura, you know, freaking who's the last guy he just fought? The long, lengthy dude, whatever his name is. You guys know who I'm talking. Teixeira, you know, he's fighting these long guys, well, not long guys, but he's all these ranked opponents. And now this is the biggest step down he's had in years. In absolutely years. And Louis Sutherland, even though he used to look like a menace, after hopping off the roids, look at this tub of vanilla ice cream, okay? Vanilla Bean himself. I'm going to go Tai Tuivasa by round 1 or round 2 knockout. I think he should get this done. If he doesn't, it's over, you know? Even though Tai Tuivasa will always put seats or always put people in seats and get people watching him in arenas, if you're on a 7-fight Tony Ferguson losing streak, it's over, brother. You shouldn't be in the UFC. They cut Jailton Almeida. They cut, you know, Rosenstrike. They cut, dude, like, what are we doing? And Rosenstrike beat Tai Tuivasa. You know what I mean? So I'm going to go Tai Tuivasa, round 1, round 2 knockout. He better get this done or it's wraps. Or it's over, all right? So give me Tai Tuivasa by round 1 or round 2 knockout. We move on. Shamil, dude, this card's actually fire. Shamil the Blob Gaziev taking on Brando Pericic. Ozzy. Bro, dude, the urge to pick Shamil Gaziev, bro. Oh my God. He's got double the amount of experience as Brando Pericic. All right, I'm going to say that much, okay? And his only 2 losses are to good ranked opposition. So is Brando Pericic that level? Because Shamil has only lost to Rosenstrike in the main event where he gassed out, got picked apart. And Waldo Cortez Acosta where he got bombed away with a right hand and just flopped to the mat on his back. Dude, it's hard. It's hard because I think Brando Pericic is really good. I do believe in the Brando Pericic hype train. I am on that Bulkin Bear hype train. All right, I do think he's a menace. I think he's got big power. I think he's very physical. I think he's very athletic for heavyweight, which is something you can't say about Shamil the Blob. All right, not athletic. Little bit of a tubster right here, Shamil. He's got good boxing and he's got good wrestling. The problem is his gas tank's horrendous. His speed is horrendous. He's 36 years old. You know, I think Shamil Gaziev's best path to victory here is if he grapples. Genuinely. But I don't see him doing that. And I think Brando Pericic is a good grappler himself. And I think he can stuff the takedowns, keep this on the feet, and just bomb away Shamil Gaziev. You know, the blob's going down. The blob is going down at some point in this fight. And I think if the blob goes down, it's over. I think if Gaziev ends up on his back, it's over. All right? So I'm going to go Brando Pericic. I'm not too confident because Brando is early in his MMA career, but the guy's got really fast hands, big power in the hands, very explosive, and Gaziev's way... I didn't think the dude was 36, man. We don't got too many Gaziev years left. But I'm going to go Brando Pericic, round 1 or round 2 knockout. I think he's going to finish Shamil the Blob Gaziev, who's kind of just beat schmucks in the heavyweight, like the tubsters, bro, like Thomas Peterson and Dontel Man. Yo, oh my god. The more I say these names on Shamil's record, I gotta go Brando. I know Brando hasn't beat anybody either. He just beat Louis Sutherland. I get it. But Shamil's best win is Thomas Peterson and Dontel May. So I'm gonna go Brando Pericic by knockout in round 1 or round 2. I think he gets it done in front of the Australian fans. And the Bulkin Bear enters the rankings. Big boy. We move on. Marwan Rahiki taking on Ollie Schmid. Dude, honestly, I think Ollie Schmid could come in here and pull off an upset. I think he could. I'm going to pick Marwan Rahiki because I think Rahiki is just too dangerous. I do. But I'm waiting for the day where Rahiki gets absolutely slimed out to death, okay? Somebody is going to abysmally slime this dude out and put him out cold at some point because the guy's got zero defense. His chin is in the air. He's there to be clipped. He's there to be caught. It's been happening in this past few fights. And his defense is inexistent. If Marwan wants to actually get to the top of the UFC, of his division, he needs to develop defense. It's just insane. The guy does not defend his chin. He just eats shots right on the chin and pretends like he can survive everything. But eventually there's going to be somebody who's powerful enough to just put his fucking lights out. So I'm going to go with Marwan Rahiki. You know, this is short notice for Ollie Schmid. The guy's not too experienced. Here, I'll go to the picture. He's not too experienced, but he is bigger. He's got really nasty highlight knockouts and stuff. And I do think he could clip Rahiki. I just think it's a very low percentage. Like, I think there's a 5% chance that Ollie Schmid catches Marwan Rahiki with like a spinning back fist or a fluke spinning elbow or some shit like that. But I'm going to go freaky Rahiki probably by knockout in round 1. I'm gonna go Marwan by knockout in round 1. Short notice for Ollie Schmid. Marwan is very dangerous, and you know, I haven't seen too much on Ollie Schmid, so we'll see. But I do think there's like a 5 or 10% chance that Ollie Schmid flukes the shit out of this with a spinning elbow or a spinning back fist. Mark my words. All right, we'll see. We move on. Tim Elliott taking on Steve Erceg. Holy hell, Tim Elliott, bro. Yo, if people were to just look at this picture, they'd be like, yo, what is this? What is it? What is this homeless man doing in the UFC? Bro, Tim Elliott, gang. Get that fresh cut, bro. I think he actually has a fresh cut. They just haven't updated the pic. They're doing him dirty with this shit, bro. What is this pic? This is dirty. Steve Erceg, you know, almost on a Tony Ferguson generational downfall. He fixed it. He saved himself, though. You know, went to fight for the belt against Pantoja, lost, then got destroyed by Kai Kara-France by round 1 knockout, then got destroyed over 5 rounds against Brendan Moreno, and then he finally bounced back against Ode Osborne. Not the best win. You know, he almost got fluked in that one as well, but at least he's back on track, and he's fighting Tim Elliott, Unk Nation, bro. Tim Elliott is, bro, he's still doing it. 40 years old, Unk still got it. This is a for real Unk still got it because Tim Elliott just fluked the shit out of Kai Asakura. Impressively. Very impressively. Got him with that, was it a guillotine? He got him with the guillotine. Bro, like, Tim Elliott is sneaky good. Don't get me wrong. And I think he could fluke Steve Erceg. I'm going to go Steve Erceg, though, because of a couple reasons. I think Steve Erceg's the way better boxer, like, by far. Tim Elliott's got this very goofy bait-out style, like, and it was working against Kai Asakura. Asakura couldn't get his timing off, but I don't think Steve Erceg is going to be as tentative as Asakura. He's not looking for flying knees. He's not looking for crazy explosive movements. He's just popping 1-2s with his nice boxing combinations. I think Steve Erceg can keep him at the end of his punch and just box him up a little bit. My worry is the grappling, because Tim Elliott is the kind of guy that, like, if you grapple with him at all or you give him one slight chance, like, he will jump a submission. He will jump a sub. He will look for the choke, and he usually gets it. You know, he's on a 2-fight win streak at 40 years old. He beat Sumadarji, and then he just beat Kai Asakura as a huge underdog in both fights, and he's a huge underdog here. But I'm going to go Steve Erceg. I'm going to go Steve Erceg because I don't think he's going to get fluke subbed. And I think there's a way more high likelihood that Steve Erceg subs Tim Elliott. And I think that is what I'm going to go with. I think I'm going to go with Steve Erceg by sub. I think he's going to drop Tim Elliott and sub him with a rear naked choke. I think. You know, I think Steve Erceg is overrated. I don't think he's top 5 level. I don't think he's champion level. But I do think he beats a guy in Tim Elliott. I do think he is a top 10, you know, maybe bottom, like in between top 10, top 5 level flyweight. So I'm going to go Steve Erceg by round 2 or round 3 submission. I think he's going to find a rear naked choke. I think he's going to either drop Tim Elliott or catch him in a scramble and latch up a rear naked choke, finish this fight. He almost subbed Ode Osborne a couple times, and Tim Elliott has been subbed before. So I'm going to go Steve Erceg by submission, but I wouldn't be surprised if Tim just flukes this one and subs Erceg instead. So I'll go Steve Erceg. I'm not too confident, though. Tim Elliott is a crafty crafter. Let's go with Steve Erceg, though, by sub. We move on to the co-main event. Benny Dariush versus Quillan Salkeld. Another minority to add to the ring, man. Quillan Salkeld is just fucking hunting them down. He's hunting them down. This is freaking Infinity Gauntlet, bro. He's got India on there. He's got India. He's got India on there. He's got Morocco on there. He's got he's got Israel on there, bro. Yo, his Infinity Stones are... He's got a ginger on there too, bro. He got a ginger on there too. And now he's about to add an Iranian on there, bro. This shit is about to be filled out. Quillan Salkeld's gauntlet is about to be filled out this weekend if he beats Beneil Dariush. I think Quillan Salkeld should win this fight. But I do have to say something. I don't think this is going to be as easy as everybody's saying it's going to be. Everybody's like, oh, dude, if a fly lands on Beneil Dariush, he's going out, bro. Yo, if I blew wind at him, he's going... Like, dude... These memes I've been seeing about Benny Dariush are absolutely tragic. It's literally like, yo, if my mom sat on Dariush, she's out, bro. He's dead. Like, it's just fucking the most retarded shit ever. If I open my fridge door and a gust of wind hits Beneil Dariush, she's going unconscious somewhere across the world. Like, the most retarded shit, okay? But all jokes aside, Beneil Dariush has literally gotten knocked out by the top 5 lightweights in the rankings. Charles Oliveira, Arman Sarukian, and fucking Benoit Saint-Denis. How are we going to say that Beneil Dariush's chin is cooked? I get that Benoit BSD just clipped him with one shot and it didn't even look that powerful, put him out unconscious. I get it. You know, I get it. But sometimes it just takes that one perfect shot to put somebody out, and that's exactly what that was. Everybody's saying Beneil Dariush's chin is absolutely destroyed, but I don't think it's that destroyed. You know, I do think Quillan Salkeld will knock him out, but I do think we're going to see a round 1 of back and forth. Quillan's looking for the shot. Benny's trying to grapple. I think Beneil might get a takedown. Quillan will scramble back up. They'll be on the fence. I think we're going to get a lot of clinching in that first round. Second round, though, I do believe Quillan Salkeld will catch him with an uppercut or overhand. I think it's going to be the overhand right, like he did against Anshul Jubilee. I think that's going to put Dariush down and put him out. I'm going to go Quillan Salkeld, round 2 knockout, overhand right. Maybe up against the fence, probably out in the open though, where Beneil's looking for a takedown. He's kind of weighing in, swaying in, and then he just bop, and it's like, oh, and it's fucking over, bro. And then the Infinity Gauntlet lights up, and then Quillan Salkeld fucking jumps into super space, bro, and it's over. All right, and then he's the champ. After that, bro, he's collected the 5 fucking Infinity Stones of minorities. It's over. All right, Quillan Salkeld will be champion once he collects every single minority. Give me Quillan Salkeld by knockout, second round. Minority Killer's back, baby. Minority Killer's back. Let's go. Quillan Salkeld, round 2 knockout. That's the prediction. We move on. JDM versus CP. Bro, JDM versus... That's so tough, bro. JDM versus CP. That's pretty tough. Why is it glitching out, bro? All right, JDM versus CP. Banger main event. Banger main event. All right, this is such a good main event. Like, I can't emphasize this enough. This should guaranteed be a striking matchup, a banger striking matchup. Jack Della Maddalena cleanest boxer in the on the roster besides Ilia Topuria. I think he's second best boxer on the roster. And then Carlos Prates, Muay Thai specialist, one-shot knockout power, one-shot knockouts on his entire UFC record. Every single one of his wins is by destruction knockout. And he's just been absolutely destroying everybody. And he seems to be racially motivated as well, because every time he fights a black guy, dude, Trevin Giles, he's like growling and snarling and shit, puts him out cold. Jeff Neal, snarling and growling, puts that motherfucker out cold. And then Leon Edwards absolutely destroys Leon Edwards. So Jack Della Maddalena might be the answer, bro. He might be the answer. White chocolate man himself, okay. Pale as a daisy. I'm going to go Jack Della Maddalena to win this fight. I'm going JDM for a couple reasons. Number one, I'm biased. I like JDM. Number two, I think he's the way better striker. And in combination, he will absolutely light up Carlos Prates. And the second that Jack Della Maddalena is getting off his combinations and they're switching, they're moving, and he's sticking and he's moving and stuff, the numbers are going to start racking up for Jack Della Maddalena. I guarantee you we're going to be in the third or the fourth round, and they're going to pump up the numbers, and it's going to be JDM with over maybe 50 significant strikes more than Carlos Prates or some shit like that. If Carlos doesn't fluke him early, this is JDM all day, by decision, absolutely pieces up Carlos Prates. And I see this fight the exact same way I see Volkanovski versus Lopez. It's the exact same thing. It's the exact same thing. You know, Volkanovski was the better striker, the better minute winner. You know, if Diego doesn't get him out of there early, you know, Volk's going to win this by decision. And it happened twice. The fight happened twice. The exact same thing happened both times. You know, obviously, Volk's better than JDM. I do believe that. Volk's more well-rounded. But JDM fights the same. You know, he's got cleaner boxing, but he sticks, he moves, he's got good footwork. He works the body beautifully, rips body shots, sticks, moves, doesn't stay in one place to get caught. Really defensively sound, high and tight guard, very hard to catch. It's going to be very hard for Carlos Prates to put down JDM. And we've never seen JDM get rocked or put down or anything. Unlike guys like Jeff Neal, Trevin Giles, Leon Edwards, you know, these guys have been hurt before, and Carlos Prates put them all down with one shot. But JDM, I think, is too defensively sound. I think he's too aware of his surroundings. I think he's going to be sticking, moving in combination. When he gets in close on Carlos Prates, he'll be able to rip body shots, go upstairs with the uppercut's going to be there. The overhand right's going to be there. I think Carlos can catch him with the knees and the kicks. I think that's how Carlos is going to have to try to chip away at JDM. But I think JDM's defense is just so good, man. I was there live in Montreal when I watched JDM versus Bilal, and that fight was absolute masterclass from JDM. It was a masterclass from JDM. It was competitive. It was back and forth. But if you counted up the significant strikes, if you saw who was winning, it was clear JDM was winning. It was clear JDM was piecing him up in every exchange, every moment, and just was in there for 5 rounds, a 5-round war, and had the cardio for it. You know, I know he got destroyed by Islam Makhachev, well, held down, smudged by Islam, but dude, that's going to tire you out. Everybody's like, oh, look at Jack crying in the 5th round against Islam. Dude, he wasn't crying, all right? You know, he'd just been smudged for fucking 20 minutes. Bro, he literally been laying on his back with somebody on top of him for 20 minutes. Like, come on, all right? And he defended every submission attempt. I'm going to go JDM. I'm going to go JDM in this fight. I think he's the better striker. I think he's the cleaner striker. And I think JDM's just going to piece up Carlos Prates. I think Carlos will get close to some shots. But I see this as the Ian Gary fight. I think it's very similar. And I see this as the Volk versus Lopez fight. Very similar. If Carlos doesn't get him out of there in round 1 or round 2, JDM will rack up the numbers very, very quickly. And once we're at the end of this fight, it's going to be a clear 49-46. Maybe 50-45. Probably 49-46. JDM, that's what I'm going to go with as my official prediction for this main event. I'm going to go Jack Della Maddalena by 49-46. Unanimous decision. Gets it done at home in Australia, in Perth. Keeps that number 1 contender spot. And hopefully gets another chance at the title eventually. I think he'll have to work his way back up. But I'm going to go with JDM by decision as the official pick. Those are all my official predictions for UFC Fight Night Perth, UFC Fight Night Della Maddalena versus Prates. Banger fight night, very good fight night. If you guys enjoyed the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Go down in the description down below to check out my winnable. You can get all my bets, all of my props, my freaking parlays, my freaking money lines, all right, everything there. We've been doing solid lately. We're going to keep the trend going, so go check that out in the description down below. But I will catch you guys in the next video. See you.